Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to beautiful U.S. Bank Stadium here in Minneapolis, Minnesota. I'm Jason Ruttman with Radio K Sports. Thank you for joining us for another edition of Golden Gopher Baseball. Tonight, we have Game 4 of 4 against the Illinois Fighting Illini. Minnesota has dropped the last 3 in the series and are looking to turn it around here. The starting lineup for your Golden Gophers tonight is Zach Elliott at first base, Zach Robbie at second, Jack Wassel batting third, playing third base, Sam Ireland, number 44, in right field in the cleanup spot. He's followed by Chase Stanky. Boston Marilla is the designated hitter this evening. Andrew Willite's in the 7 hole. Easton Bertrand follows him. And batting last is the shortstop, Drew Stahl. Pitching for Minnesota is Jack Gliffrig, who we saw last weekend. He picked up a loss against Indiana. For the Fighting Illini, batting first is the center fielder, Taylor Jackson, and he will step to the plate right now. As we get this game rolling, Gliffrig, the left-handed pitcher, against the right-handed batter Jackson. He stands in, and the first pitch of the game is a fastball outside for ball 1. For team records on the year, Minnesota 1-5, the Fighting Illini 3-3. Second pitch of the at-bat is high, 2-0 is the count. And Hill ready for the third offering. From the windup, this one is a high strike. Called by home plate umpire Rick Allen. We've seen him past few games. He has a wide strike zone, but he is consistent. This ball is shot back up the middle to shortstop, fielded and fired over to first for the starting out of the game. Now up for the Fighting Illini, it's the left fielder, Danny Dolegale. He's a freshman, batting .250 on the season, through 7 games and 24 plate appearances. He stands in the left-handed batter's box, 1 foot back, and he shoots this one out to left field, and it'll fall for a base hit. Illinois gets the first base runner of the evening as Dolegale hit a soft liner to the left that fell in front of Andrew Willite. 1 on, 1 out. Now stepping into the batter's box is someone who we did not see yesterday. It's Ryan Hampi, the designated hitter, batting .360 on the season with 9 hits in 25 at-bats. He readies for the first pitch, and it is a high slider. Seemed to have gotten away from Gliffrig a little bit, and ball 1 will be called. Gliffrig now fires over to first base, keeping the runner honest. He's able to dive back in easily. Dolegale has 2 stolen bases on the season in 2 attempts. He's playing first base this evening. He's playing right field. Next pitch in is swung through a beautiful fastball by Gliffrig. Jack Gliffrig, the redshirt sophomore lefty out of Highlands Ranch, Colorado, was very successful in 2019 with a .90 ERA in 3 appearances as he tosses over to first base again. He had 10 innings pitched, gave up 9 hits and only 1 earned run. This season, he actually played at the University of Utah before transferring over to the U, coming to the Midwest from the mountainous region. And this ball is hit well and out to right field, and it's going to fall in the corner. That's going to be extra bases as it bounces off the black tarp. Hustling into second and diving in is Hampi. Runners now at second and third with 1 out. A beautiful piece of hitting there by Hampi as he shot one to the opposite field that fell for a double. Gliffrig already looking a little bit frazzled as the Gophers try and steal one of the 4 games against the Fighting Illini in this series. About 50 people in the crowd today here, obviously limited due to the COVID pandemic, but this seems small in comparison to some of the other games we've done. This one is hit over to the first baseman and tossed to first, and it will be an out. Fantastic cover by Gliffrig as Elliott fielded the ball on his backhand. The batter, McDonald, dove headfirst in, but Gliffrig's foot touched the bag before his hand did, and so the second out of the inning will be put up on the board. However, the runner from third did score, so Illinois takes a 1-0 lead. They draw first blood here as Gliffrig steps off the mound. Now up is the freshman Janis, batting .438 on the season. He wears number 23, stands in the left-handed batter's box, and he fouls this one off. Excuse me, he's wearing number 17. The number 23 player on Illinois is Comia. He's on deck next. He's one of the premier shortstops in all of America. Next pitch is a swinging strike. Gliffrig ahead early, 0-2. One on. The runner is Hampi on third base. Illinois stranded 9 runners on base last night, looking not to repeat that this year, as this one is just hit foul down the first base line. Janis saw that pitch real well and just turned on it a little bit early. We will redo the 0-2 count. As Gliffrig takes his time getting onto the mound. Now he sets, and from the windup fires home. It's a slider that'll be over the outside corner of the plate, but did not catch enough of it to be ruled a strike by the home plate umpire. Next pitch is hit right back to Gliffrig. He should have an easy play at first, fires over, and the ball is corralled by Elliott for the final out of the inning. After the top of the first, Illinois takes a 1-0 lead, but Minnesota will have a chance to get the run back. Stay tuned. Minnesota's at bat is up next. Welcome back. Thank you for joining us here on Radio K. I'm Jason Ruttman. The Fighting Illini lead the Gophers 1-0 after the first half inning. Now up for Minnesota is going to be the first baseman Elliott. He fouls this one back. And for Illinois, the starting pitcher is Cole Kershipper. Kershipper wearing number 27 in navy and orange today. He's a left-hander, and in his one appearance this season, he went 5 innings, only giving up 1 hit, but walked 4. He did pick up the win in that game, so he is 1-0. 2 strikes now on Elliott. He stands in the right-handed batter's box, filling in today at first base for Ronald Sweeney, who is getting a rest after playing the first 3 games of this series. And this one is swung through a fastball for strike 3. And Illinois records their first out of the inning. Now up is Zach Robbie, by far the best player for Minnesota so far this season. Robbie's hitting .526. Unbelievable. He had a monster triple last night that appeared like it went over the fence, but the umpires ruled no. He takes a ball on the outside edge. Robbie, the junior infielder out of Forest Lake, Minnesota, stands at 5'10". He was named to the 2021 preseason second-team All-American squad, so high hopes for him. He'll take ball 2 out of the hand of Kershipper as we await the third pitch of the at-bat. Here it is. That one's inside. Count will change to 3-0. Infield playing pretty deep on Robbie. Both the shortstop and second baseman behind the white painted line that would represent the far back dirt of the infield. However, we are on an all-turf field with the exception of the mound and the home plate area, as a fastball is pumped down the middle for strike 1. Third base and first are playing deep in their positions, but not shifted over at all, and the outfield are playing deep as well, but perfectly centered as they should be. Next offering is outside, and Robbie will take a free trip down to first base. The Gophers get a base runner on for the first time this game. And now up is Jack Wassel, the slugger out of Geneva, Illinois. He's batting .269 on the season. Stands in the left-handed batter's box and takes his time. Kershipper already set, ready to pitch as Wassel lines him up with the bat. And now he brings his hands towards his ear and waits. First pitch is hit well and hard down the third base line, but foul, about 7 rows deep, close to the foul pole. Solid contact there from Wassel. He just had the timing a little bit off. On first is Zach Robbie off the walk. And on deck is the sophomore Sam Ireland. Wassel waits. Here's the pitch. It's going to be inside. Count is now 1-1. Wassel was named the number 6 third baseman in the NCAA as of this preseason. He takes a ball on the outside corner, questionable call, as the catcher Campbell tried to frame it for home plate umpire Rick Allen. Did not get the benefit of the doubt, and the count will become 2-1. Robbie with about a 7-foot lead off of first base against the left-handed pitcher Kershipper. He takes a look at him and now comes home. Wassel hits one well again down the third base line, but this one's way foul, going up into the second deck here at US Bank Stadium. Next weekend, the Gophers will head down to Evanston, Illinois to play against the Northwestern Wildcats. This is their last game at US Bank Stadium for the foreseeable future, as hopefully when they're done with their road trip, they will be able to play outside at Siebert Field on the campus of University of Minnesota. Wassel now, 2-2 count. Kershipper taking a long time and now comes home with it. Wassel again down the third base line, but foul into the second deck of seats here at the bank. Pace of play has slowed down significantly here since Wassel entered the box. He likes to take his time, try and throw the pitcher off. But the next pitch is again fouled off. Wassel building himself a nice at-bat here. He's fouled off 4 of the 8 pitches that he's faced. the next 2-2 offering. As Robbie takes off, Wassel hits one sky high towards center field. Jackson and Dolegale converge, and Dolegale will call off Jackson and record the second out of the inning. As Robbie returns to first base, Sam Ireland now up for the Gophers. He's in the cleanup spot this evening, batting .154 on the season. Had the night off last night against the Illini. The Gophers dropped both games of their doubleheader yesterday as Ireland swings at a strike on the first pitch of the at-bat. The first game, they lost by a score of 11-8 in 7 innings, and then the second game they dropped 7-1. Robbie, a lot of motion over there at first, but he does not take off. The ball is outside, and the count is now 1-1. The first game of the series was on Friday evening. The Gophers forced it to extra innings, but Illinois put up a 5 spot in the 10 to make it 6-1, and the Gophers could not surmount that deficit as the third pitch of the at-bat is fouled off. And so the Gophers are looking to turn the tide here, pick up a win in this series, and then go down to Evanston next weekend and have some more success, get themselves back up in the standings. The kick in the 1-2 from Kershipper is hit really well, but way foul. A ton of force on that one by Sam Ireland, but his timing was way off, and he just got the end of the bat on it. Zach Robbie has not stolen the base yet, but he is animated over there at first. Has about a 10 or 11 foot lead now, and he'll take off. As Ireland hits one deep to center field, giving chases Jackson, and he'll rein it in for the third out of the inning. The Gophers are silent in the bottom of the first. We'll return in the top of the second, where Illinois will be batting. Thank you for joining us on Radio K. Stay tuned. Welcome back, and thank you for joining us here on Radio K Sports. I'm Jason Ruttman, and the first pitch of the inning to Brandon Comia is going to be a strike over the heart of the plate. Comia, batting 6th for the Illini today, is playing shortstop. And he stands in the right-hander's batter's box and takes another ball. 1-1 is the count. Comia was largely successful last season, but has struggled so far in this one with a batting average of just .091. Next offering is over the outside corner, but ruled a ball by the home plate umpire. Gophers not shifted at all except for second baseman Zach Robbie is playing very deep in the hole, as this one is fouled off the protective Screen behind home plate. Top second, count 3-2, and here's the payoff pitch. Ball is lifted to left field, and Sam Ireland won't even have to move forward as he just sticks his glove up and picks it out of the air for the first out of the inning. Now up for the Fighting Illini is catcher Jacob Campbell, the 6-foot sophomore out of Janesville, Wisconsin. So far this season, he's batting .444. He is dangerous at the plate. Stands in and takes a fastball for a strike. Last year, he struggled a little bit in the COVID-shortened season in 35 at-bats. He was only able to muster 7 hits for just a .200 batting average, but he seems to be much improved this season as he hits this one up the middle. An unbelievable stop by Robbie, but he will not throw over to first as he had to dive for it, and Campbell hustled down the line for Illinois' 3rd hit of the baseball game. A real nice play by Zach Robbie there, hustling over towards second base and extending, catching the ball on his backhand, but with Campbell speeding down the line, he did not even attempt to throw, probably a smart move. Campbell, a large lead at first against the left-hander Gliffrig. I wouldn't be surprised to see him throw over, but he won't, and the first pitch is ruled a ball. Up for Illinois is the 3rd baseman Raper. He had a nice game yesterday with a couple hits. And now he'll loft this one to left field and it'll drop for a bloop single. Staying at second is Campbell. And the Illini threatening again this inning. Runners on first and second, 1 out. And now up is a man we didn't see yesterday. It is second baseman Cal Haza. Gliffrig readies for him as Haza flicks the bat back and forth over home plate and now sets himself. He tries to lay down a bunt, but it goes foul down the third base line. Good attempt. Haza with some decent speed. He wears number 13 for the Fighting Illini, is a freshman from Oswego, Illinois. Talented player at that. He's looking to make a difference here for the Fighting Illini as they attempt to sweep the Golden Gophers in this 4-game set. He stands in and takes a ball high and inside. Gliffrig up to 24 pitches on the evening. He's given up 4 hits so far and 1 earned run. No one stirring in the Gopher bullpen, nor in the Illini bullpen, as we await the 3rd pitch of the at-bat. This one is hit towards the 3rd baseman, a slow roller to Wassel. He'll field it and sidearm it over to first for the 2nd out of the inning. Both runners advance. So now we have 2 outs, runners on 2nd and 3rd, and due up is the leadoff hitter, Taylor Jackson. Jackson 0 for 1 today so far, batting .300 on the season. He grounded out to the shortstop to begin the game. He is a speedster, so with 2 outs and the infield playing back, if he hits a little chopper on the ground, he may be able to beat it out. First pitch is over the outside corner for a strike. Jackson didn't like it, but his argument has no merit, according to home plate umpire Rick Allen. He stands in, uses his bat to measure up Gliffrig, and now sets. Ball is in the dirt and outside. Nice snag there by the catcher Chase Stanky. Stanky is due up first next inning for the Golden Gophers. He's batting .190 on the season. He'll be followed by Boston Marilla and Andrew Willite, the left fielder. The 1-1 to Jackson. is going to be hit up the middle again to the shortstop. Scooped by Stahl, fired over to first, and he beats the speedy Jackson for the third out of the inning. Illinois can't do any damage in the top of the second. Gophers looking to steal a run back from the Illini to tie this game up in their next at-bats. Stay tuned and see if they can do it. Welcome back. Due up for the Golden Gophers is Chase Stanky as the Fighting Illini look to keep the Gophers scoreless through 2 here. I'm Jason Ruttman. Thank you for tuning in to this Radio K broadcast edition of Golden Gopher Baseball. The 1-5 Minnesota Golden Gophers are looking to take their second win against the Fighting Illini. Stanky swings through a slider. And in big news for Illinois, their basketball team has clinched a #1 seed in the NCAA March Madness tournament after a fantastic season. In their last matchup against the Golden Gophers, they won by 31 points. So, well-deserved as they beat Ohio State today in the Big Ten Championship. Second strike to Chase Stanky is in, and the count is now 0-2. Kershipper, 20 pitches into his evening, has 1 walk, 1 strikeout, and no hits allowed. The 21st offering is on the outside corner but low, 1-2. If you were curious about that last song, that was Ancient Noon by Green Blue. Thank you to Radio K for providing us at Radio K Sports with some fantastic music for your entertainment during our commercial breaks. Make sure to check out radiok.org for more information and great music, along with checking out the Sports Hour podcast, which airs every Tuesday at 6 p.m. You can also find it on Apple Podcasts or Spotify. They are a blast to record. Count is now 2-2 as Chase Stanky stands in, looking for another hit on the season. He has 4 so far, and this one is going to be blooped to the second baseman, Heza, and he reins it in for the first out. He was playing deep in the hole against the left-handed Stanky, and he will be rewarded for that as he catches the soft pop-up. Now up is Boston Marilla, the designated hitter today. We saw him playing second baseman last night as Zach Robbie took over the DH spot. He's batting .364 on the season with 4 hits and 11 at-bats. This pitch is over the inside corner for a strike. Beautiful movement on that one from Kershipper. On deck is the left fielder Andrew Willite, batting .208 on the season. And the 0-1 pitch is hit up the middle, but fielded by Heza, tosses over to first, and Janis brings it in for the second out of the inning. Gophers quiet so far offensively in this one. No hits through 5 batters. Andrew Willite now standing in the left-handed batter's box for the Golden Gophers. Cole Kershipper looks very comfortable in there so far. This season, his ERA is 0, as Willite shows bunt but pulls the bat back. However, it will be called a strike by the home plate umpire, Rick Allen. The other two umpires for tonight, at first base is Adam Berg, and at third base is Bill McGuire. It's the same crew we've had all weekend, and they've done a pretty nice job so far. Willite may have tipped this one as it goes into the catcher Campbell's glove. 0-2 is now the count. Gophers looking to avoid another 1-2-3 inning here. First and third base playing towards the corners, as this pitch is inside to Willite. The outfield, no shift on. Second baseman Heza is playing deep, as is the shortstop Comia. Kicking the 1-2 is hit foul towards the Gopher bullpen by Willite. Third base umpire Bill McGuire will track down that ball in between pitches. Willite has hit 3 doubles on the season as he takes another ball here. Count is now 2-2. He's hit 3 doubles, 2 singles in 24 at-bats. He has 1 RBI, 1 walk, and 4 strikeouts. When batting with 2 outs, however, his batting average is .500, so he looks to get on base for the Gophers here. Instead, he'll hit a soft grounder over to first baseman Janis, who touches up on the bag for the 3rd out of the inning. Gophers go down quietly in the bottom of the 2nd. In the top of the 3rd, for Illinois, it'll be Dolegale, Hampi, and McDonald. Stay tuned to see what they can do at the plate. That song was Proto Caves by Green Blue again. They are one talented band in my opinion. Now up for for Illinois, is Danny Dolegale, the freshman, batting .280 on the season, standing in the left-handed batter's box. He takes a ball on the outside corner to begin the at-bat against Jack Gliffrig. Gliffrig this season with a 7.71 ERA after a tough outing against Indiana last weekend, as he fires a strike over the inside corner. He gave up 6 earned runs in 6 innings pitched, as the next pitch has some velocity on it but is a ball. He also gave up 1 long home run in that game, a towering blast, and with speed he pitches another one. I'm telling you, him and Tim Scoro yesterday both have really, really high efficiency on the mound. Just pitch after pitch after pitch, no break in between. That one is in the dirt. Count is now full, 3-2. Dolegale singled in the first after he hit a little blooper to left field. And this one he'll foul off towards his own dugout. In other Minnesota sports news today, the Wild had an early game at home against the Coyotes. They picked up the win 4-1, scoring 4 unanswered after Phil Kessel netted one in the first for Arizona. Payoff pitch of the at-bat is high, and Dolegale will get a free trip down to first base. Rask scored in the second for Minnesota, followed up by Nick Bonino, Kevin Fiala, and Joel Eriksson Ek netted an empty netter. And in arguably even more exciting news in Gopher sports, as stepping into the box is Hampi. The Golden Gophers, in their first game of the Big Ten hockey tournament, defeated the Michigan State Spartans in overtime after Sampo Ranta fired a wrister past the goaltender on Minnesota's 50th shot on goal of the night. They pick up the 2-1 win and will play again tomorrow in the semifinals. First pitch of that bat was a ball. And this one is hit back up the middle to Gliffrig. He fires to second, looking to turn two. They'll do it as the dugout erupts. A beautiful play. 1-6-3 double play. Minnesota has 2 outs, no runners on, as Hampi is frustrated after that at bat.
Right fielder Cam McDonald.
Now up, Cam McDonald, hard swinging sophomore out of Ladd, Illinois. Stands at 6'5" as he fouls this one off. One of the taller players on the Illinois team. In fact, the tallest, tied with Andrew Hoffman, the right-handed pitching sophomore. Ball on the outside corner makes the count 1-1. And we'll do it all over again. Gliffrig from the windup pumps, fires, and this ball is smoked way foul towards the 220 section here at US Bank Stadium. Gliffrig deals again, and this one is swung on and missed as he picks up his first K of the evening. Illinois goes down again, 1-2-3 after a base runner gets on. The Gophers turn a double play, and then a strikeout ends the inning. They're going to try and recover from their 1-0 deficit when we come back. Oh, that song was Link in Bio by Diet Sig. Coming to you live from US Bank Stadium. Thank you for tuning in to Radio K Sports Radio. I'm Jason Rutman here at the bank as the first pitch to the center fielder Bertrand is a ball. In for his third inning of work is Cole Kershipper. He has yet to allow a hit to Minnesota. The only base runner that we've had has been a walk. That was Zach Robbie in the first inning. Bertrand has struggled offensively this season. He has 1 home run, an absolute blast he hit last weekend to right field. But aside from that, he's batting only .150 as he takes this pitch inside. Aside from that, he strikes out 50% of the time, according to the book this season. 10 strikeouts at 20 at-bats. He has 3 hits as he fouls this one into the protective netting behind home plate. It will be retrieved by the on-deck batter, Drew Stahl. Easton Bertrand playing center field today for Minnesota. He's a senior. And this pitch, he hits into the gap between third and short, and he'll reach base on a single. The no-hit bid is over for Cole Kershipper in 2+ innings. And Drew Stahl will step up to the plate for Minnesota. He has also struggled this season, just 1 hit in 13 at-bats with 7 strikeouts. Looking to turn it around here. He's a sophomore playing shortstop today and wearing number 10 for the maroon and gold clad players. Stands in the right-hander's batter's box and waits. Shows bunt and knocks it foul towards the Illinois dugout. 0-1 as Bertrand retreats to first base. The Gophers scored their 1 run yesterday playing small ball. Wouldn't be surprised to see Coach Anderson replicate that here today. See if the Gophers can tie it up early and not have to do another late comeback as they attempted last night twice. They were unsuccessful in both endeavors as Stahl shows bunt again, and this time pops it down the first base line. He will advance the runner, but the first baseman, Janis, fields it and tosses it over to the second baseman, Heza, who was covering the bag for him. 1 out, runner on second, and we go back to the top of the lineup for Minnesota. It's going to be Elliott, who is 0 for 1 so far today. He struck out swinging in his first at-bat. On deck is the feared Zach Robbie, as the first offering is hit towards the shortstop. It will advance the runner. However, Elliott will be tossed out at first. 2 outs. Runner on third now.
Second baseman, Zach Robbie.
The Gophers threatening for the first time this evening with a runner on third, but 2 outs. Here in the bottom of the third, in their final game at US Bank Stadium of the season. Zach Robbie takes a ball outside. We saw him in at the DH spot yesterday. He had a long triple to left center field. Continues his hot hitting streak. 10 hits in 19 at-bats with only 1 strikeout on the year. In his first plate appearance, he walked, and now he stands in again. This one he lifts towards the right center field gap, and it's going to get down. That'll be extra bases as he plates another run. Minnesota ties it up 1-0, and a standing double for Zach Robbie. A beautiful, beautiful swing from Robbie as he lofted a ball towards the right center field gap that got down and went to the purple wall that's covered in Vikings logos. Picked up by McDonald and fired in, but not in time as Robbie had a standing double. And now Jack Wassel will come up to the plate with a runner in scoring position. In circumstances like these, he's batting .286 on the year, and with 2 outs, he's batting .400. So looking to give Minnesota an early lead here. First pitch is in, and it's going to be a ball on the outside corner. Chance of good eye ring out from the Gopher dugout. On deck is Sam Ireland. When he makes contact, the ball goes a long way. Jack Wassel will swing at this one and pop it up foul. And almost a nice catch by a fan, but a little bit short. Only about 50 or 60 fans here today watching the Gopher game, friends and family only, at least for the time being. Governor Walz just announced a few days ago that indoor venues like the XL Energy Center and Target Center are going to be allowed to host 3,000 fans soon for their respective sporting events. So exciting to see. As Wassel hits a little dribbler, it'll be fielded by the catcher, Campbell, and he'll toss him out to first. That'll be the end of the inning for Minnesota. However, Zach Robbie with an RBI double to tie this game up Top of the fourth, let's see if the Gophers can shut the Illini down for the third straight inning. We'll be back.
Since the stars saw these eyes.
As Soul Shaper by Last Scorsese wraps up, we'd like to thank Radio K again for providing us with some intermission entertainment. Now up for the Fighting Illini is the first baseman Janis. So far he is grounded out to the pitcher and he takes the ball here. This one he rips foul down the third base line and it'll enter the second deck of the seating bowl here at US Bank Stadium in Minneapolis, Minnesota. This one is hit to the shortstop sharply, scooped up by Stahl, tossed over to first for the out. Gophers gave up a run in the first inning and have been perfect ever since. They tied the game up in the last inning after Robbie hit a double to the right center field gap that reached the wall. Exciting to see for the Gophers, who have struggled offensively in this series. The next pitch by Jack Gliffrig is swung on by the batter Comia for a strike. Comia was ranked as the number 4 shortstop in the nation preseason. He has struggled at the plate, batting .087 so far, but defensively he has continued to be a gem, a walking web gem, one could say. A lot of real nice plays on the infield. The next pitch is swung on again as he steps out of his box and readjusts the helmet. It's certainly frustrating for a player as talented as Comia to be struggling at the plate, as this one is high and inside. He just got out of the way. A hearty fastball from Gliffrig nearly got him up high. However, the at-bat will continue 2-2. And this one is hit sharply to left field, and it will fall for a single. Comia ends a struggling streak as he reaches base for Illinois' 5th hit of the game. For reference, the Gophers have gotten 2 on base from hits, 1 from a walk. And Gliffrig will see a streak of 7 outs in a row come to an end. First pitch of the next at bat is inside to the catcher Campbell for a ball. Jacob Campbell was named to the Buster Posey Catcher of the Year award watch list, as was your Golden Gopher catcher, Chase Stanky. 2 very, very talented players. The big leg kick by Gliffrig will result in another ball, 2-0 now. Campbell was ranked as the number 65 sophomore in the nation by Prep Baseball Report a few years back. He awaits the next pitch. A slider over the middle of the plate for a strike, 2-1. Aside from that, he was drafted by the Chicago Cubs in the 36th round of the 2018 MLB draft. 1-1 is the score here. 6:47 p.m. Game started at 6:05 p.m. So moving with some efficiency, as this one is hit quietly down the third base line, but will roll foul. 2-2. The runner on first is Comia. He has 2 stolen bases on the year, but the middle infielders for the Minnesota are playing fairly close to second base, all things considered, so doesn't look like he's going to test the waters by stealing on the left-handed Gliffrig. Gliffrig, just making sure to keep him honest, tosses over to first right there. Not a super aggressive throw, just a lob over to Elliott, who doesn't even attempt to apply a tag to Comia. The next offering is hit towards the gap between shortstop and first. Nice play by Stahl, but the speedy Campbell will beat it out. It's not often that you see such good base running from a catcher, but he makes his way down the line pretty well, and on a softly hit ground ball, it was not going to be easy for Stahl to pick it up and get it over to first in time. All of a sudden, the Illini threatening again. 2 on, 1 out. And up now is the senior third baseman, Raper. Raper takes a strike to start the at-bat. He's from Concord, North Carolina, and transferred from Catawba Community College. He was very successful in his NJCAA career and was rewarded with playing time at Illinois. Looking to make the most of it here as he takes the ball. Jackson Raper stands at 6 foot tall, 200 pounds. As we await the 1-1 pitch. Gliffrig taking his time here. And it's hit sharply to the second baseman. Tossed over to 2 for double play. Yes, sir. A 4-6-3 double play ends the inning for Illinois. And the Gophers will have a chance to take the lead for the first time in the bottom of the 4th, coming up next here on Radio K Sports.
All we could say was wow. What a display from the gods of nature.
For the Golden Gophers this inning, Sam Ireland, followed by Chase Stanky, and then number 33, Boston Marilla. Sam Ireland, the sophomore righty out of Highland Ranch, Colorado, will step into the right-handed batter's box here. In 2020, he batted .303, and this one he hits hard to straightaway center, but it will be corralled by the center fielder, Jackson. First out of the inning, 1 pitch in. Now up, Chase Stanky. Stanky offensively has not been as efficient this season as he was in his last. He is only batting 182 so far and popped out to the second baseman in his first at bat of the game. This one he hits up the middle, and it will go into center field, a base hit for Minnesota. Their fourth of the game, as we got a base runner. That'll bring up Boston Marilla, the switch hitting freshman, batting .333 on the season. He grounded out to second to start the game, as sleeping on the blacktop blasts over the PA system here at the bank. Marilla stands in and now hits this one high and deep to right field. It has a chance. It's gone. A long home run for Boston Marilla. Or no. It's a little challenging to see with the tarp there in right field. It looked like it cleared the painted on yellow line, but the umpires will say no. So runners on second and third. That's the second questionable home run call in 2 games against the Golden Gophers, but with only 1 out and 2 runners on, both in scoring position, Andrew Willite has a chance to give the Gophers their first lead of the game. Willite grounded out to first base in his first plate appearance back in the second inning. He has a tall stance in the batter's box, hands near his shoulder, not so much his ear, as he wiggles back and forth slowly. Fouls the first pitch that he sees back into the screen. And going back to that hit by Boston Marilla, I mean, he hit that thing a long way. That thing was a mile high and cleared the purple wall, but according to the umpires, not the yellow line that's about 15 feet up on the black tarp covering the right field bleachers. Obviously, US Bank Stadium is not made for baseball, as Willite hits this one way up in the air right behind second base, and it's going to be caught by the shortstop Comia. Almost hit Marilla, who had retreated back to second on its way down. But going back to the previous point, US Bank Stadium is designed for football, not baseball, and obviously they've done a fantastic job here with it so far, but due to some of the dimensions and the wall in right field not being solid, it's a little challenging to see if a ball clears the fence or not. And there's no replay in college baseball, so the umpires have to go with what they see. They determined Marilla's hit was not gone, and so he stands on second base. On third is Stanky, and up to the plate is Easton Bertrand, the center fielder. He takes a swinging strike to begin his plate appearance. Batting 190 on the season so far. He has a hit today and the Gophers' only run. He was brought home by a Zach Robbie double back in the third inning. This pitch is outside, 1-1. The Gopher dugout applauds Bertrand for his patience in the box. No one up in either bullpen, as both pitchers have been very good so far. Cole Kershipper brings it home, and a soft roller down the third base line. Bertrand's going to have a chance to beat it, and he will. That'll bring home the runner, and the Gophers take their first lead of the game. Very exciting for them. A soft chopper down the third base line could not be caught up to by Raper in time, as the speedy Easton Bertrand crosses first base before the throw arrives. Minnesota 2, Illinois 1, and now up is the shortstop Drew Stahl. Stahl had an out in his first at-bat, and it looks like Coach Anderson is going to discuss something with the home plate umpire, and now with Easton Bertrand. I'm not exactly sure if something went on, but he's called over the head athletic trainer to join the conversation. Maybe Bertrand tweaked something on his way down to first. He was running pretty aggressively as they huddle up, Bertrand with his hands on his hips. Well, just as a summary of the game, Illinois took an early lead in the first inning as McDonald got out, but Dolegale scored. After that, it's been all Minnesota. Zach Robbie doubled in the third, bringing home Bertrand, who appears to be leaving the game in favor of a pinch runner. We'll announce who that is as soon as he comes out of the dugout. And now, in just this last at-bat, Bertrand hit a soft grounder to the third base. Marilla scored from third, and Stanky advanced. However, Bertrand appeared to have tweaked something in his leg on the way down to first, and so Drew Himaleski is going to be the pinch runner. We have not seen much of him. He came in the the top of the ninth yesterday in right field, but did not have an at-bat. As we will resume play. Drew Stahl is the batter. Cole Kershipper is the pitcher. Kershipper just gave up his first 2 runs of the season in the past 2 innings after a spotless performance last weekend in which he picked up a win. Now he deals to Stahl, who checked his swing and did not cross the plane of the plate with his bat, so the count will become 1-0. Runners on first and third, Minnesota looking to continue the 2-out rally that they have just begun to mount. On first, Himaleski is being held on as this one is chopped foul. But Himaleski being held on at first, Marilla not being held on at third. The pitcher is a lefty, so Marilla is able to get pretty far down the line. So even a little infield blooper will score him most likely, as long as Stahl's able to beat the throw out to first, and Himaleski's able to beat it out to second. But it's all hypothetical. We'll see what happens. Stahl swings through this one, and the count is now 1-2. Slight shift for Illinois. The second baseman, Heza, is playing not right behind second base, but just a few feet to the right of it. And the shortstop, Comia, is playing pretty deep in the hole. The outfield is not shifted at all. And first and third base, aside from Janice holding the runner on at first, are playing in normal positions. Taking off for second now is the runner, and it'll be a grounder to third. And just in time, a beautiful throw by Raper to get Stahl out. The Gophers put one on the board and take the first lead of the game, 2-1. Will they be able to protect it? We'll see coming up in the top of the 5th. Well, dusk is beginning to set here over the Twin Cities in Minnesota. I'm Jason Ruttman coming to you live from US Bank Stadium, home of the Minnesota Vikings and currently your Minnesota Golden Gophers baseball team. Drew Himaleski has stayed in the game for an injured Easton Bertrand. He tweaked his leg, it appeared, running down to first base on an RBI single that he hit. He plays center field, so Himaleski has taken over that position. And up to the bat for Illinois is the second baseman, Heza. Count is 1-1 as Gliffrig is pitching with efficiency. This one over the outside corner, but a little too far off the plate for home plate umpire Rick Allen to call it a strike. Cal Haza is a business major, and he chips this one foul. Haza is a business major out of Oswego, Illinois, stands at 5'11", 180 pounds. Not an intimidating player, but he has quite some pop in his bat when he makes contact. However, the fastball from Gliffrig will sit him down on the bench as the Gophers record their first out. That will bring up the leadoff hitter, Taylor Jackson. Jackson 0 for 2 on the day, batting .290 on the season. He has 2 stolen bases and 2 doubles. He has also walked 6 times this year. This one is hit sharply to the shortstop Stahl, who gloves it, throws it over to first, and the throw is wide. So it will be an error on Stahl as Elliott could not rein it in and keep his foot on the bag. Taylor reaches first as the first error of the game is put up on the video board in left field. The stat line so far, Illinois 1 run, 6 hits, no errors. The Gophers 2 runs, 5 hits, 1 error. Runner on first, 1 out here in the top of the 5th. Up now is Dolegale. And Gliffrig tosses over to first to keep Jackson honest. In Dolegale's 2 plate appearances, he's reached base both times. First inning, he singled as he takes a slider for a strike here, and in the 3rd, he walked. Looking to keep the streak alive in the 5th inning. Maybe even advance the runner. Jackson with a 12-foot lead off of first base. He is fast enough to get back, it appears, as this one's over the inside corner for a strike. Gliffrig clearly does not like Jackson that far off the bag. He gave him a nice long look over and is throwing over to Elliott at first base a couple times the past few pitches. He'll do it again here. And Jackson was only a few feet off that time and didn't even have to slide to get back in. 0-2 is the count. Gliffrig has the advantage over Dolegale here. Wouldn't be surprised to see something off-speed and in the dirt, see if he can get him to chase. Instead, it's a fastball outside. Looked like it might have been a borderline pitch-out attempt almost, as Stanky popped up looking like he was going to toss over to first. Elliott even stayed to cover the bag, but Jackson wasn't too far off. This one is fouled over towards the Minnesota dugout. And we will reset. Dolegale stands in tall. Now gets into a knees bent squat almost and takes another ball. A lot of movement in the batter's box for Dolegale. Most hitting coaches would say that you want to limit your movement and have a, concise, effective swing, but Dolegale has been taught otherwise, it appears, and it's paying off for him. He'll take another ball here. Does not seem to want to chase on the outside pitches. It's 3-2 now. 1 out, top 5. Minnesota up 2-1. Runner on first. No shift on. Gliffrig will throw over to Elliott at first base again. The 3rd time he's done that in Dolegale's at bat. Jackson reached on a throwing error by the shortstop Drew Stahl as he airmailed one high. Jackson's going to take off here. Stanky won't toss it down as a 4th ball is called. So now runners on first and second again. That's the 3rd time in 5 innings that we've had this situation with 1 out. Stepping up to the plate is number 34, Ryan Hampi. But before that, Dr. Dre is going to play over the loudspeakers as there's going to be a meeting at the mound with the pitching coach and the entire infield. Gliffrig has thrown 72 pitches so far for Minnesota and faced 20 batters. He's given up 6 hits, 1 earned run, walked 2, and struck out 2 as well. On the season, he has a 5.79 ERA, down from the 7.7 that he started at before this game. Through 9 1/3 innings, he's given up 14 hits, 6 earned runs, and struck out 6. He really relies on the defense behind him to get outs. But Minnesota came into this weekend with the 5th best fielding percentage defensively as a team in the nation, so thankfully he has been supported overall, minus the error from Stahl just a few batters ago. Well, the meeting at the mound has come to an end at the urging of home plate umpire Rick Allen, and Hampi will stand in for Illinois. The first pitch of his at bat, over and throwing down to first was Stanky, and alertly, Jackson took third. Interesting choice by Stanky to try and throw down. His throw was late to begin with, and it allowed the runner to advance from second to third. So now Illinois has runners on the corners with 1 out. Stanky takes a few steps out towards the mound to say something to Gliffrig without having to use another mound visit. He sets and fires. This one's in the dirt, blocked again by Stanky. He's so good at that. Very rarely do you see a passed ball by him. Credit both to him at catcher and to the pitchers for having a lot of control. 2-0 is the count, as Gliffrig, with his hands at his belly, now fires, and this one is going to be hit towards the gap at short, and a beautiful diving stop, and a second out there as the Gophers turn 2. That was an unbelievable play by Drew Stahl as he makes up for the error. Flying to his left, he snags the ball on the backhand, flips it sidearm to second base, where Robbie was smartly covering, and he turns and whips one over to first. The nice stretch by Elliott gets the 3rd out of the inning, so Illinois cannot put anything up on the board as Minnesota escapes unscathed. They will look to expand their 2-1 lead in the bottom of the 5th. Coming up next. You were just listening to With That Face by Green Blue. We welcome you back here to US Bank Stadium. I'm Jason Ruttman with Radio K, Real Sports Radio. It's 2-1 Minnesota as the first baseman, Elliott, fouls this one off to begin his at-bat. Cole Kershipper remains in the game for the Fighting Illini. He's at 56 pitches on the day. Has only given up 5 hits, 2 earned runs. This one is low and in the dirt for a ball. Elliott 0 for 2 this evening with a strikeout in the first and a ground out to short in the third. Filling in at first base for Ronald Sweeney today. He'll take another ball here, high and outside. So the count is now 2-1. Kershipper already set on the mound again. Small windup and now fires home. This one is fouled into the netting behind home. 2-2. The Gophers avoided giving up a run last inning after an unbelievable stop at shortstop by Drew Stahl. Tossed it over to second to Robbie, who launched one over to first for a double play to get the Gophers out of the inning. This one is hit well and deep to center field. However, just in front of the warning track, Jackson will get under it and pick it out of the air for the first out. Good contact there by the leadoff hitter, Elliott, but he's not rewarded for his efforts. Zach Robbie batting .550 on the season after hitting an RBI double back in the third will look to increase the Gopher lead. Robbie leads the team in hits with 11 and home runs with 3. First pitch of the at-bat will be low but over the plate. Ball 1 will be called. On deck is senior Jack Wassel. He's 0 for 2 tonight. Having a down season compared to last year. As this one is crushed by Robbie. That one is way back and way out of here. Zach Robbie, a long home run, his 4th of the season. As the horn sounds here, the Gophers take a 3-1 lead. They pile out of the dugout to congratulate Zach Robbie, who obliterated that baseball. That was about a mile high and way gone. Probably cleared the fence by about 15 rows to straightaway left. And man, you knew it right off the bat. That thing was way out of here. Jack Wassel now steps up to the plate with the Gophers reinvigorated. Like I was saying before that long home run by Zach Robbie, Wassel having a down year from last year. He was batting .364 before the pandemic ended the season, batting only .250 this year, and he's 0 for 2 tonight. He'll swing at a fastball here and whiff. 0-1. With that home run, Zach Robbie's batting average is now almost at 600. He's at .571. Really unprecedented numbers for him and most college baseball players. Wassel takes a slider inside. The Gophers applaud his willpower to not swing at that one. In the last 3 innings, the Gophers have put up 1s on the scoreboard. As Wassel crushes this one to right field. That is way back and way gone into the second deck. An unbelievable shot by Jack Wassel as the Gophers take a 4-1 lead. That ball was hit even further than Zach Robbie's. That was gargantuan. Another one that you knew right off the bat was gone. The horn sounds again here, and the Gophers will pile out of the dugout again. Illinois will take the opportunity to hold a meeting at the mound, as the next batter will be Sam Ireland, another slugger, the sophomore, batting only .133 on the season. Well, the Gophers go back-to-back as Robbie and Wassel hit homers to left field and right field respectively. And let me tell you, Wassel's home run, you guys may have not been able to see it at home, but that not only cleared the black tarp in right field, it cleared the box seats that are there and went into the 300 levels. That was an unbelievable shot by Wassel, who is known for his slugging prowess, but that was really something. I didn't think anyone was going to be able to reach those seats. Well, the meeting at the mound concludes as Rick Allen jogs back to home plate after breaking it up. The outfielders are playing deep on Sam Ireland as he stands in the right-handed batter's box. The only one playing in fact, is the third baseman, Raper. Everyone else is deep. Ball 1 is called low and inside, and the second pitch is fouled directly back. The on-deck batter, Chase Stanky, will retrieve it quickly and now head back to the on-deck circle. Ireland 0 for 2 so far, looking to turn the tide. He hits this one hard and deep to right field. Will it go? It's off the wall. They're going to say it did not clear the yellow line, as sliding into second is Sam Ireland. 3 straight extra base hits for Minnesota, 2 home runs, and now a double. Trouble here for Cole Kershipper and the Fighting Illini as the Gophers offense has come alive after struggling last night. Chase Stanky now enters the batter's box. The Gophers, batter after batter, are looking better. With that hit, Sam Ireland boosted his batting average 55 points from 133 to 188. And now it looks like the Illinois bullpen is going to see their first reliever come in. A tough way to go out for Cole Kershipper, who entered the game with a 0 ERA. He'll leave with a 3.86 ERA. He went 4 1/3, giving up 8 hits, 4 earned runs, 1 walk, and he picked up 1 strikeout. He threw 69 pitches and faced 22 batters, but this 5th inning did not do him any favors. It started out with Elliott flying out to deep center field, and the hard contact there was a precedent for the rest of this inning so far, as Robbie crushed one 15 rows deep into the left field bleachers. He was followed up by Jack Wassel, who hit one a mile. I'm telling you, that thing was absolutely crushed. That made the score 4-1, and just recently Sam Ireland doubled to deep right center field off the black tarping above the 390 mark. That has prompted the Illinois head coach, Dan Hartlib, to go to his bullpen. And now coming in for Illini is, well, let's see who they announce. It's going to be Joseph Glassy. He wears number 20, right-handed pitching freshman out of Lindenhurst, Illinois. He went to Lakes High School. Stands at 6'3", 215. Not a ton of collegiate experience. He pitched 3 innings earlier this year. Gave up 5 hits, 3 earned runs, but picked up 4 strikeouts. His ERA is at 9.0 with a 1.67 whip. In that appearance, he also gave up 3 doubles. So, the Gophers now have a runner on second base. That's Sam Ireland. And stepping up to the plate will be Chase Stanky after the warm-up pitches are completed by Glassy. Gophers looking to take this game from the Fighting Illini. They're 0 for 3 against them so far in this series. They head down to Northwestern in Evanston, Illinois next weekend for a series against the Wildcats. They're looking to bounce back in the standings. 1-5 so far this season, looking to make it 2-5 today and hopefully sweep next weekend and bounce back up to 500 at 5-5. Illinois is 3-3 right now after having a tough weekend to start off the season, but they've won 3 straight against the Gophers. Looking to keep the streak alive tonight. 7:20 p.m. here in Minneapolis, Minnesota. Chase Stanky stands in the left-handed batter's box. 1 on, 1 out. As the first pitch by the right-handed Glassy won't come as he takes a long time. Now he brings it in. It's a ball high and outside. A lot of velocity on that one, using all of his 6'3" frame to really whip that one in there. The Gophers up to 8 hits on the evening compared to Illinois' 6. The run differential is significantly bigger, though. It's 4-1. This pitch is high and outside again for a ball, another fastball. Tonight, the Golden Gophers are wearing their bright gold jerseys with maroon lettering and white accents. Illinois has on navy blue jerseys with white lettering and orange accents. Both teams have on white pants, as this pitch is hit foul and scooped up by the ball boy. Gophers have plated 2 this inning off 2 solar home runs. Now there's a runner on second with only 1 out, looking to extend this lead. Second baseman Heza is playing really deep, basically in right field, as this pitch is outside and the count alters 3-1. Shortstop Comia is playing about 20 feet to the left of second base. His right of second base, I should say. First and third are deep in the holes, but not shifted. This pitch is hit and is going to get through in between shortstop and third base. A good throw home prevents the runner from advancing, so now we have first and third with one out. It'll bring up Boston Marilla. He's 1 for 2 on the day. Popped out to second in the second inning and then hit a double in the fourth. On the season, he's batting .385, and with runners in scoring position, he is batting .250. There's a runner on third and a runner on first. A nice throw home on the previous hit by Dolegale prevented Ireland from attempting to score. Marilla, the switch hitter, stands close to the plate in the left-handed batter's box against the righty pitcher. This one's outside, and popping out of his crouch is Campbell, as Stinky had a pretty big lead on first base. No throw down, however, and the count is 1-0. Marilla taps the plate twice and now sets. This pitch is a fastball over the outside corner for strike one. Beautiful two-seamer there from Glassy. Marilla standing far back in the batter's box but pretty close to the plate. It's not giving Glassy a ton of room to work with. The next pitch is a strike over the plate as Marilla seemed to be backing out before the pitch even got there. Challenging to tell what type of off-speed pitch that was. I'm guessing it was a curveball that hooked inward, but unclear from up here in the fourth deck at US Bank Stadium. Marilla swings at a pitch that's way outside and will take the long, or should I say short, back walk to the dugout. Probably feels like it's a mile long for him after swinging at that pitch. Coach Anderson cannot be happy with him. 2 outs now. Andrew Willite, the left fielder, is going to step in for Minnesota. On deck is Drew Himaleski, who has not had a plate appearance so far. He replaced Easton Bertrand as a pinch runner after Bertrand injured his leg, hustling down to first trying to beat out an infield single. He did that successfully, leading to the Gophers' run that put him up 2-1, but he had to exit the game after that. 1-0 is the count, as Willite checks his swing but does not cross the plane, so it'll be 2-0. Willite standing tall, his bat moving back and forth slowly in the batter's box, and he'll swing at a strike here, 2-1. Minnesota leads the Fighting Illini by a score of 4-1 here in the bottom of the fifth. Runners on the corners, 2 outs, 2-1 is the count. And this one is hit hard, and it'll drop into right field. That'll plate another run for Minnesota. They'll take a 5-1 lead as Willite pushes home the third run of the inning for the Gophers. Beautiful piece of hitting there on the 2-1 pitch. Slider coming inside on the left-handed Willite. He turns, opens his legs, and drives it out to right field, and it falls easily for another single. Minnesota up to double digits in the hit category with 10. The Illini only at 6. Standing in now, Drew Himaleski, the senior. He reached base on a walk earlier this year and scored, but in his one at-bat that counted, He took an out, so his batting average is at 0. Looking to get his first hit of the year. Not an everyday player, but a fantastic utility player with a lot of speed. Wears number 21 for Minnesota. And he'll take a curveball over the middle of the plate for a strike. 0-2 now, falls behind in the count early. And Joseph Glassy may have an opportunity to get out of this one. Two on, two out, runners at first and second. And swinging through this one is Himaleski. He'll go down on 3 pitches, but the damage is done. Minnesota pushes 3 runs across the plate to extend their lead to 5-1. We'll be back for the top of the 6th as Minnesota will take the field defensively.
Feel the rhythm, feel the rhyme. Get on up, it's bobsled time. Sit and meditate, get into the flow of my breath and get my thoughts in control.
Well, you were just listening to In Good Health by Last Scorsese. Music provided by Radio K, as this one is chopped foul by the lead-off hitter for this top of the 6th. That is number 4, McDonald for Illinois. Oh, and 1 is the count. Jack Gliffrig will continue his solid campaign this afternoon. Through 5 innings, he's only allowed 1 run. And he'll deal here a fastball on the outside corner, but maybe a few inches too far outside, according to Rick Allen, the home plate umpire. So we have a 1-1 count. This quick offering by Gliffrig is outside again, as he takes an opportunity to dry his glove hand off, and now will reset on the mound. McDonald crowding the plate a little bit, standing in the right-handed batter's box. And this one is a fastball right down the middle, a beautiful pitch by Gliffrig. 2-2. McDonald batting .294 on the season, 10 hits and 34 at-bats, and he'll foul this one off here. Aside from that, he has 8 RBIs, and when batting in the leadoff spot for an inning, his batting average boosts up to 400. From the windup now, Gliffrig fires one home, and a called strike 3, a beautiful pitch that crossed the inside corner of the plate on McDonald will cost him an at-bat and his team an out. Now stepping up is the freshman Janis. He's 0 for 2 on the day, batting .389 on the season. We were talking about the other day, as he takes a ball here inside, that he actually donated bone marrow to his brother who suffered from a leukemia cancer diagnosis. So a very, very nice story for Janis as he gets ahead in the count 2-0. Janis is from Homer Glen, Illinois, went to Marist High School, and he'll single up the middle here. Picked up by Himaleski in center field and tossed in. Illinois has their 7th hit of the game and their first base runner of the 6th inning. Now up is the shortstop Comia, 1 for 2 on the day. He flew out to right field to begin the game in the second inning, and then singled to left in the fourth. He hits one down the line, and fair, a beautiful play by Wassel, fires across the diamond, and scooped up by Elliott. A great play defensively all around by the Gophers. That ball was hit hard and well down the third base line. Wassel had to pick it up on his backhand and fire it Nolan Arenado style all the way across the diamond. One hopped it to Elliott, who scooped it up before Comia, who is pretty speedy down the line, could touch first. The runner does advance, however, so Janis now stands at second, 2 outs on the inning, and that'll bring up the catcher Campbell. Jacob Campbell, the sophomore from Janesville, Wisconsin, will hit one hard and deep down the right field line, and giving chase was the right fielder Ireland, but it will fly foul. Oh and 1 now the count. And ready as always for the next pitch is Jack Gliffrig. Not so much for Campbell. He spins the bat around a little bit, frustrating Gliffrig, or attempting to. But Gliffrig seems locked in now. And he fires home. Fouled back into the netting by Campbell. Jacob Campbell has been one of the most efficient hitters for Illinois so far this season. He has just 11 at-bats, but has gotten hits in 6 of those for a .545 average. Only struck out once as well. He's batting in the 7 hole here today for Illinois, who trail 5-1. And he lifts this one again down the right field line, but way foul. Probably about 20 or 22 rows up. 0-2 now is the count. Gliffrig has some leeway to work with 2 outs, 1 on, and 3 balls to give. Lifts, fires, and this one is hit real well to the left center field gap. It is going to leave the ballpark. That is a 2-run homer for Jacob Campbell, and Illinois has cut the Minnesota lead down to 2 runs. Campbell got good composite metal on that one and drove it way out, steps on home plate emphatically, and all of the sudden, Minnesota's lead has been cut in half. And so that'll bring up the third baseman, Raper. It will also lead to another mound visit. The second of the game for Gliffrig. And in fact, the Gophers are going to take him out of the game. A solid campaign for Gliffrig. He finishes with 5 2/3 innings pitched, 3 earned runs off of 8 hits. He walked 2, struck out 3, and threw 89 pitches. He's going to leave the game with the lead, so if the bullpen can hold, he's going to pick up the win for Minnesota. And now, coming in is Josh Culliver. We saw him last weekend wearing number 36 for Minnesota. He is a senior right-hander out of Omaha, Nebraska. He went to Creighton Preparatory High School. In the preseason, he was ranked as the number 45 MLB draft prospect for MLB baseball and played in the Cape Cod League in 2019. In his career, he has an ERA of 4.37 with the Golden Gophers. He struggled a little bit this year. His ERA is up to 18. He had 1 inning pitched in which he gave up 2 earned runs, 1 base on balls, and a strikeout. Those 2 earned runs came off a long homer last weekend, and he's looking to improve on those numbers here tonight. Coming up for the Fighting Illini is going to be Jackson Raper, the senior third baseman. He singled in the second and then grounded into a 4-6-3 double play in the fourth that ended Illinois' offensive chances in that half inning. Well, a little bit of Illinois versus Minnesota baseball history. Fighting Illini are in their 142nd season. Gophers in their 133rd. The head coach for Illinois is Dan Hartleb. He's in his 16th season, and he was named D1 Baseball Big Ten Coach of the Decades for the 2010 years. For Minnesota, John Anderson has continued his unbelievable campaign as the Gophers head coach. He's in his 40th season, and he is looking to lead his Gophers back to Big Ten championship contention, just as they did in 2018 when they won the entire Big Ten crown. Play will now resume as Raper stands in the left-handed batter's box. 6'2" Culliver takes the mound for Minnesota, and both batters prepare. Culliver, the right-hander, deals a two-seamer in. Solid movement on that one, and it's a strike. Started over the inside of the plate, cut to the outside part, and froze Raper. 0-1. Good velocity on that one as well from Culliver, probably around 90 miles an hour. And this one is a beautiful changeup over the middle of the plate, and it froze Raper again. 0-2 now. No runners on after the two-run homer from Jacob Campbell to left center that plated Janis. And now this fastball will be outside to make the count 1-2. Minnesota leads by a score of 5-3, trying to take this game from the Fighting Illini and prevent the sweep here at US Bank Stadium. This pitch is hit towards the second baseman. Marilla fields it on the backhand. That's Robbie. Tosses it over to first for the final out of the inning. So, Illinois scores 2 on a long homer by Campbell, but the Gophers maintain the lead 5-3. They're going to have a chance to get the runs back in the bottom of the 6th. Stay with us. We'll be right back. You were just listening to All Bummer, No Summer by Bathroom Sig. We welcome you back to US Bank Stadium. Here I'm Jason Ruttman with Radio K Sports, Real Sports Radio. Thank you for tuning in to this edition of Gopher Baseball as Drew Stahl hits one down the line for Minnesota, and he will make it to first as Janis dropped the ball. It looked like there was a little bit of contact there, but the umpires will say no interference, and Gophers will be awarded a hit, it looks like. No error, it doesn't seem. But if you're just joining us, the Gophers lead 5-3 in the top of the 6th. They have 10 hits on the evening compared to Illinois' 8. In the top of the 6th, Illinois scored 2 after a home run to left center field. But Minnesota gets a runner on to begin the bottom of the 6th. And Zach Elliott, the leadoff hitter, will appear again for his 4th at bat. He's 0 for 3 so far with a strikeout, a ground out to short, and a pop out to center field. He shows bunt, pulls it back, but a strike will still be called by Rick Allen, the home plate umpire. Outfield playing deep Infield playing in with the exception of the shortstop Comia. Stahl with about a 5-foot lead on first base, nothing major. He's being held on by Janis. And Joseph Glassy is in to pitch for his second inning of work. This one is bunted, a beautiful one, and it'll be fielded by the catcher Campbell, who tosses over to first for the out. The Gophers playing small ball again, advance the runner. Now it's 1 on, 1 out. And Zach Robbie will step up to the plate again. Last inning, in the 5th, he hit a gargantuan homer towards left field. Cleared the purple wall by about 15 rows, I'd say. And Illinois, it looks like, has decided to intentionally walk him. Not a bad idea, considering he's batting .571 on the season and has reached base in all 3 plate appearances. Well, it was risky, though, because now you have 2 on, 1 out, and Jack Wassel up to bat, who hit a homer as well back in the 5th inning. His was a massive homer going up into the 300 levels of US Bank Stadium here. Something I didn't even know a college baseball player could do. He got fantastic contact, though, and drove it a long way. Looking to do it again here. First pitch is outside for ball 1. On second base is Drew Stahl, who singled on the first pitch he saw to begin the inning. And Zach Robbie was just intentionally walked. He stands on first. Wassel, batting .267 on the season, stands in and fouls this one back. 1-1. That homer that he hit back in the 5th was his first long bomb of the season. Very exciting for him. He has 8 hits so far in 29 at-bats. And he'll measure up Joseph Glassy with his bat now. Righty versus lefty matchup here. Open stance for Wassel. And he'll take another ball outside. Looked like it may have been a changeup. Count is now 2-1. Glassy came in relief last inning. Did not give up an earned run. All the other runs were charged to the starting pitcher as Wassel hits this one high and to left field. It will be tracked down, it looks like, though, by Dolegale, who is, in fact, able to rein it in. He'll toss it back in. The runners will not tag, and so we have 2 out, 2 on, and Sam Ireland, who doubled as well last inning, coming up to the plate. Sam Ireland, the slugging sophomore, hit a double to deep right center field in his last at-bat. He stands in now. Bat moving slowly laterally, back and forth, back and forth. Glassy taking his time on the mound, now deals home. A beautiful fastball coming in high and hot. And Ireland swung under it for strike 1. Darkness has set over US Bank Stadium here. It's 7:45. This game had its first pitch right around 6:05, so we're an hour 40 in or so. And this one is going to be shot to right field, and it will be brought in. Throw home, and it will be an out at home. A beautiful throw by the right fielder, McDonald. So basically, to recap that last play, Ireland hit a liner to right. One bounced into the glove of McDonald. And the Golden Gophers, with Stahl on second base, tried to test his arm, and he threw a beautiful toss home. Campbell scooped it up, and they were able to get Stahl by about 3 steps. So the inning ends for Minnesota. Illinois averts the damage that could have been done, and we'll be back for the top of the 7th in just a moment. Welcome back to US Bank Stadium. I'm Jason Ruttman with Radio K. Just wanted to take a quick moment to remind you that the Sports Hour podcast airs every Tuesday at about 6 p.m. on the Radio K website, Apple Podcasts, and Spotify, so make sure you tune in. If you've been following Big Ten basketball at all, you'll know that Illinois today clinched the Big Ten championship over Ohio State. That tournament was held at Lucas Oil Stadium in Indianapolis, Indiana. And during the break, I took a look at what Illinois' campus looks like on social media, and they're having a good time down there. I saw a few people climbing light posts, some solid rallies, and not too much social distancing. So just a reminder, please stay safe out there, everyone. But we'll begin the top of the seventh with the Gophers leading 5-3. First pitch is in for a strike. And just a quick reminder, Sports Hour podcast Tuesdays at 6 p.m. This week, we're going to be talking about a lot of different things. Got the Big Ten hockey tournament. We got March Madness coming up. We got Gopher baseball to cover, so make sure that you tune in. It's going to be a fantastic episode as always. Count is 0-2. Culliver in for his second inning of work. Pinch hitting for Illinois is Andrew Kim, the 6'1 sophomore from Libertyville, Illinois. He tips this one into the glove of Chase Stanky for a strikeout. Culliver sits him down 1-2-3. And the Gophers have their first out of the seventh. Now up for his fourth plate appearance is the center fielder Taylor Jackson, wearing number 15 for the Navy and Orange. Slider on the outside corner is ruled a ball. Jackson 0 for 3 today, batting .281 on the season. So far, he has grounded out to the shortstop twice and then reached on an error. The only error committed by Minnesota today. Tough play by Drew Stahl as he overthrew the first baseman Elliott a little bit. He was able to corral it, and the ball did not sail into the stands, but Jackson beat him out as he left the bag. Jackson hits this one way high and towards the Illinois bullpen. Over there is Elliott, and he is able to catch that one for the second out of the inning. Efficient work by Josh Culliver. 7 pitches in. He already has a couple outs in the inning. Now up is Danny Dolegale for Illinois. He's reached base all 3 times he stepped up to the plate, singled in the first, walked in the third and fifth. Has an opportunity to continue his on-base streak here in the seventh. He'll take a fastball high and outside to begin his at-bat. Dolegale, 7 hits and 25 at-bats this season, 2 stolen bases, and 4 runs scored. Takes another fastball high, 2-0 is the count. Jack Gliffrig started this game for Minnesota and looked really good in it, giving up only 3 runs. And Josh Culliver has come in as a substitution for him, and he's looked sharp as well. However, he throws his 3rd straight ball here. Count is now 3-0. Dolegale, not known for his power. The outfield is playing a little shallower than normal. But another high fastball will result in a 4-pitch walk. That will bring up Hampi. Ryan Hampi is a power hitter, as the outfield will take a few steps backwards, as will the majority of the infield, with the exception of first baseman Elliott, who heads over towards the bag to hold the runner on. Righty versus righty matchup here for the pitcher and hitter. Culliver deals home, and this one is hit into the gap between third and short. That will result in a single on the first pitch that Hampi sees. Dolegale will stay at second, as it was collected quickly by Willite and thrown in. 2 on, 2 out. It'll bring up Cam McDonald, the sophomore. He's 0 for 3 on the day, but he also has a lot of power. He's batting in the 4th spot today. And Chase Stanky will head out to the mound for a few words with Culliver. Very brief conversation. Did not even involve the pitching coach. And now he's already back behind the plate, keeping the game moving along nicely. Things you love to see. Illinois with an opportunity to take the lead here. A homer would put them up 6-5. McDonald, is he the man to do it? Culliver throws a curveball in the dirt. Another nice block by Stanky. As we were talking about earlier, both Stanky for Minnesota and Campbell for Illinois were added to the Buster Posey Award watch list. And they have both shown off today. Campbell hit the homer for Illinois that knocked Gliffrig out of the game, and Stanky has been good as well. 2 for 3 on the day. This one is hit sharply to second base. Scooped up by Robbie. He throws over to first, and the Gophers will escape unscathed again. It's the 7th inning stretch, so make sure you take a little bit of time, stand up, move around, and stay with us for the bottom of the 7th coming up next. Well, the 7th inning stretch has come to an end. Chase Stanky is up. First pitch he sees, lines to right field, and it will be caught by McDonald. Up now, Boston Marilla, the DH. Take a strike to start off the at-bat. Stands in again, crowding the plate a little bit. Swings, hits this one way high, right behind second base. And Comia will glove it. 2 outs. Junior Andrew Willite will remain in the game for Minnesota, batting .222 on the year. In the 5th, he singled and picked up an RBI, his 2nd of the season. First pitch is in for a strike. We await the second. And it's a strike on the inside corner as well. The crowd of about 50 or 60 here at US Bank has become quieter as the night's gone on. Nearly 8 o'clock Central Standard Time here in the Twin Cities. Willite awaits the third offering of the at-bat. It's in the dirt. Fastball for a ball. 1-2 is the count now. Gophers lead by a score of 5-3, looking to steal one of the 4 games away from the Illini in their final series at US Bank this year. The next pitch is hit pretty well to center field. Going back on it is Jackson, and he'll haul it in. The Minnesota Golden Gophers go down in order in the bottom of the 7th. Will return for the top of the 8th. Will there be on the field defensively? Stay tuned.
I want you to take me for a ride in your car. You've got a sunroof so we can look up at the stars. Play me a cover of my favorite Frankie song, and we'll both sing along. All I want to do is write a song for you, but I don't know how to play guitar like you do. My voice is shaky and I don't know what to say, but I'll stay up and try anyway. I want you to put all your arms next to mine, and I'll tie our fingers together with twine.
You were just listening to Frankie on Lake Street by Bathroom Sig. In to pitch for Minnesota is number 17, Lee Capila, the senior left-hander, standing at 6'3" from Apple Valley, Minnesota. He's a prospect of Eastview High School, and his first pitch is outside for ball 1. Capila was named to the academic Big Ten list in both 2019 and 2020. And he'll fire a strike in now. Up to bat for the Illini is the first baseman, Janis. Batting .421 on the season. He singled in the 6th inning, 1 for 3 on the day. Another strike will be assessed by home plate umpire Rick Allen. Count is now 1-2. Gophers looking to hold on to the 5-3 lead that they have maintained since the top of the 6th, when a 2-run homer was hit into the left center field bleachers by the Illini. As ball number 2 comes in now. 2-2 count. On deck is Comia. He's 1 for 3 on the day. And then after that is Campbell, who has reached base in all 3 plate appearances. This one is fouled off and behind him for Janis. We'll redo the 2-2 pitch in just a moment. Capila has been perfect so far this season. In 2 innings pitch, he is not allowed a hit or a run and has struck out 3. Coach Anderson has entrusted him to hold the game for the Gophers, and the sidearm pitcher will get on to be grounded to third base, and Janis will take a seat on the bench. 1 out.
Shortstop Brandon Comia.
Brandon Comia in now, as the pitching coach for the Gophers has exited the dugout and headed towards the mound. The Gophers have 2 pitchers up in their bullpen, but it doesn't look like he's going to take the ball from Capila here. No one up in the Illinois pen. The rest of the infield has converged on the mound as well. As now it looks like someone is jogging in from the bullpen. Capila appears to have just been used to face one batter, Janis. And now they're going to bring a right-hander in to face the right-handed hitter, Comia. Capila is going to walk off the field to a smattering of applause from the small crowd here at US Bank Stadium today, as the new pitcher will begin his warm-ups.
Number 3, Drake Davis.
Drake Davis is the reliever from the pen. He's a righty, and he is looking to continue to hold the game for the Gophers. He's the 3rd person out of the bullpen so far. The game was started by Jack Gliffrig, who pitched very well. Culliver came in next. He did not give up any runs. He was followed up by Capila, who just came in for 1 batter, a rule that the MLB has changed but college has not. Now in the MLB, pitchers have to face 3 batters before they can be pulled. College is yet to adopt that rule, so Coach Anderson using the depth of his bullpen to his advantage. So now that Capila is out, Drake Davis is in. Now there is some movement in the Illinois pen. A little challenging to see the numbers from up here. It may be number 32, Andrew Pogue, possibly, from Peoria, Illinois. Davis a little wild on his warm-up pitches there. He is another pitcher from Highlands Ranch, Colorado. That's the 3rd pitcher that we've seen from there today. Gliffrig and Culliver are both from Highland Ranch, Colorado. So Davis, junior right-hander, standing at 6'1", 205. Went to Ralston Valley Senior High School. And he will now enter for the Maroon and Gold Gophers. He takes the mound to face Comia, the sophomore who's 1 for 3 on the day, batting 120 on the season. He singled in the 4th and has been quiet at the plate otherwise. This one fired in for a ball. Close pitch. No on, 1 out. Illinois looking to make up 2 runs here on the Gophers in the top of the 8th. Davis sets, winds, and fires. This one's in the dirt, blocked by Stanky again. Outfield is playing at middle depth to face Comia. Not known for his power, but has the potential to hit one a long way. Everyone in the infield is playing normally except for the second baseman, Robbie, who is deeper in the hole than normal. This one's fired in for a strike to make the count 2-1. And Davis will set again. Holds, now fires. This pitch is high and outside. The Illinois dugout getting a little noisier, trying to cheer on their teammate and get a rally going. They're looking for their 4th straight win and a series sweep against the Golden Gophers here this weekend in Minneapolis. Next pitch is swung on and missed. That'll make the count 3-2. Payoff pitch coming up next. Davis takes his time getting back on the mound, as does Comia, taking his time getting back in the box. Now both are ready. Davis sets, hands at his waist. Leg kick, fires home, and it's going to be a called strike 3. The Gophers dugout explodes with applause and cheers. Illinois' dugout drops their heads. 2 outs now, none on, and the most feared hitter, at least of the day, for the Fighting Illini is up. It's Campbell. Jacob Campbell hit a homer to put the 2nd and 3rd runs on the board for Illinois. He's 3 for 3 on the day with a .583 average on the season. 2 outs is the situation. Campbell is averaging 1 hit in every 2 at-bats when he steps up to the plate with 2 gone. So far, he's singled twice and then hit the aforementioned homer. Raper remains in the on-deck circle. First ball has already been fired. And now the second one is a fastball over the outside corner, called strike 1. Beautiful pitch there by Davis. Little bit of movement on it. Not as much as a lefty would get, but not half bad for a righty. Different arm angles and such. Davis now sets from the far end of the pitching rubber. Comes home with it, and it's fouled off towards the Gopher dugout and bullpen by Jacob Campbell. Campbell's homer in the 6th was his 2nd on the season. He makes a lot of contact, but also hits for a lot of power. A rare combination these days. He stands in, tall stance, legs open, and Stanky will block this one in the dirt again. Illinois is going to need to get a rally going, because coming up after Campbell, Raper is 1 for 3. Watson is going to be up then. He has not gotten a hit today, and neither has Jackson, who was the leadoff hitter. This pitch is high, and we'll have another 3-2 at bat. 3-2, 2 outs, no one on. Top 8, Gophers leading by a score of 5-3. Pitchers up in both bullpens as we await the payoff pitch. Kicking the 3-2. It's hit well, and it's going to fall into left field for a single. Jacob Campbell now 4 for 4 on the day. He has had an unbelievable series against Minnesota. That'll boost his batting average up past the 600 mark. That's unbelievable, to 615. For those of you at home who are wondering, that means that on average, if he were to face a pitcher 1,000 times, he would get a hit 615 of them. Those are unprecedented numbers, because a high batting average in, say, the MLB is anything above 300. Anything above 350 is unbelievable. So this guy has almost doubled that. Impressive work by him. He takes about a 9 or 10 foot lead off of first base. Like we said, he runs pretty well for a catcher. And against the right-handed Davis, he's going to have a little bit of extra time to get back if needed. Davis with a short kick, and the pitch is inside. Are they going to say that it hit him? No. He just got out of the way, him being Raper. Third baseman, batting .321 on the season. He now takes a low ball as the noise level here in US Bank Stadium has started to pick up a little bit. I will say I sure do miss the roar of the home crowd in situations like these. Hopefully in just a few months we'll be back to full capacity. Davis deals home again. This pitch is going to be a high strike. That'll make the count 2-1. Raper at the plate does represent the tying run for Illinois. If he were to hit one out of the ballpark here, that would plate 2 and tie this game at 5. Only big pitches from here on out, and this one is inside. That'll make it 3-1. Crowding the plate a little bit is Raper. Both he and Davis are ready. Davis fires over to first. The pickoff attempt is good, but Campbell dives back in time. A hard throw over to first. Great control there by Drake Davis, and a nice snag by the first baseman Sweeney, who has subbed in. Another throw over will not be in time, according to first base umpire Adam Berg. Another close play, though. The 3-1 pitch coming home now. It's going to be roped down the right field line, and it's going to be fair. Into the corner, picked up by Ireland and fired in. A good relay prevents a run from scoring, but all of a sudden, the Gophers are facing a little bit of danger. Runners on second and third, 2 outs, with Watson coming up to bat. A little bit more movement in the Gopher bullpen. Whoever was up previously had taken a seat down, but looks like someone new is up and moving around.
18, Kellen Sarver.
And pinch hitting for the Illini is going to be number 18, Kellen Sarver. He's a catcher and first baseman, sophomore, standing at 6'2" from Champaign, Illinois. He's a product of Centennial High School, and he has an opportunity to make a big splash here for the Illini. And just as he steps into the box, there's going to be another mound visit. A little more information on Sarver. He's had 16 at-bats this season and converted 3 of those into hits. He has 4 RBIs and 4 runs scored, though, and he's also a walk machine. He's walked 5 times already this season, only struck out 4. He also has picked up a stolen base. And now we are going to see who has come in from the bullpen for the Maroon and Gold squad.
In a pitch for the Golden Gophers, number 43, Ryan Duffy.
It looks like it's going to be number 43, Ryan Duffy, senior left-hander out of South St. Paul, Minnesota. In 2019, he received the David Cheselnick Jr. Memorial Award. Over his career at Minnesota, he's been pretty good. In his sophomore year, he was fantastic with a 1.17 ERA in 5 appearances. Struggled a little bit more in 2019, but he had a larger sample size, appeared 16 times, and pitched 32 and 2/3 innings, but gave up 17 earned runs in those. And then in 2020, obviously the season was shortened due to COVID. He only pitched 4.2 innings, but had an ERA of 15.43. So, looking to finish out his career as a Golden Gopher strong here. He is a lefty, and it looks like they will keep Sarver out there, although he's a lefty as well. As we were talking about earlier, first baseman Ronald Sweeney was getting a break today, but he has come back into the game this inning for Elliott, who had been starting in his place. Both bullpens are now quiet, as are the fans here at US Bank Stadium. The 4 infielders go in to give glove taps and high fives to Ryan Duffy. And now they'll jog back to their respective positions, and we'll get this game moving again. Robbie and Jackson Raper exchange a few pleasantries on Robbie's way back to his second base spot, and we'll get moving again. 2 on, 2 out, and here's the first pitch way outside. A nice snag by Chase Stanky to keep it in front of him. Prevents a run from scoring. The tying run is on second base in the form of Jackson Raper. On third base is Jacob Campbell, who's 4 for 4 on the day. Sarver waits, gets it, and hits this one a long way to to right field. It is going to be reeled in on the warning track by Sam Ireland, and the Gophers have escaped another inning and put a 0 on the scoreboard next to Illinois' name. And so we'll head to the bottom of the 8th. The Gophers look to extend their 5-3 lead. Stay tuned on Radio K Sports, Real Sports Radio. Thank you very much to tuning into Radio K Sports, Real Sports Radio. I'm Jason Ruttman, coming to you live from beautiful US Bank Stadium in downtown Minneapolis, Minnesota. A few defensive changes for the Fighting Illini. Going in to play second base is number 2, Brody Harding, the freshman from Moline, Illinois, standing at 5'10", and in to pitch for them is Ryan Cutt, the right-handed sophomore from Orland Park. He's a graduate of Brother Rice. And now in to bat for Minnesota is Drew Himaleski. He came in the 4th inning as a pinch runner for Easton Bertrand, who got seemingly a muscle pull or maybe a tweak in his leg as he ran down to first trying to beat out an infield single. Himaleski stands in the left-handed batter's box against the right-handed Cutt. And Cutt with the high leg kick deals. This one's hit right back up the middle and just behind the pitching mound. Himaleski will reach base with a single. Minnesota's 12th hit of the evening. And now, Drew Stahl will approach the plate. Stahl has struggled a little bit offensively this season, 0 for 3 today, and just 1 hit in 15 at-bats. Small sample size, and he has time to recover that batting average. But the most concerning thing for him has been the strikeouts. In those 15 plate appearances, he's struck out 7 times. He stands in now and shows bunt. The third baseman hustles in, and he will pull his bat back, but a strike will still be called by Rick Allen, the home plate umpire. Himaleski got a nice lead there on first against the right-handed cut. Takes a little extra time looking over at him as he steps on the mound for this next pitch. 0-1 is the count. Score is 5-3 in favor of your Golden Gophers. Stahl showing bunt again, and now tossing over to first is cut. To no avail, however. As Himaleski dives back in. For the third time in a row, Stahl shows bunt, and this pitch is high and inside. He dives out of the way for that one, leaning back like he's in the Matrix. After Stahl, we'll be back at the top of the lineup, where Ronald Sweeney stands in the on-deck circle. He replaced Elliott back in the top of the 8th. Stahl lays down a bunt. It's going to be fielded by the pitcher cut, and he tosses over to first for the out. Not a difficult play, but the Gophers continue to, run small ball a little bit here. Their third time this game, they got a runner on to start the inning and then laid down a bunt to advance him. Sweeney now steps in to some rock music over the PA system here. Sweeney, wearing number 4 for Minnesota, has 2 hits and 18 at-bats this season, including a long 3-run homer to center field last weekend against Rutgers. It appears that the umpires now are going to discuss something, or is there going to be a pinch runner? Someone sprints out of the Minnesota dugout, heading towards second base, but looks like he's going to come back towards the foul line and have a discussion with one of the coaches. Play has stopped here. Sweeney has stepped out of the batter's box and is taking half-swing practice cuts.
Pinch runner for Minnesota, number 7, Brent Bateman.
And now there will be a pinch runner for Minnesota. It's going to be number 7, Bateman. Bateman does run a little better than Himaleski, but the Gophers may also want him in for his defensive prowess in the top of the 9th, where they have a chance to seal the game against the Illini and pick up their second win of the season. We resume play here. The first pitch is in, and it's going to be smacked foul down the first base line. Good contact there from Sweeney. He was just a little bit early on it. Fastball coming in at probably 88 miles an hour. Ryan Cutt, not necessarily known for his velocity, but he is very good at being accurate with his pitches, hitting his spots. And his slider and curveball have a fair amount of movement. Another fastball is inside. Check swing by Sweeney. But it will be rolled a ball, making the count 1-1. The stat lines for tonight's game thus far: Illinois, 3 runs scored, 11 hits, 1 error with 9 runners left on base. The Gophers, slightly more efficient, 5 runs, 12 hits, 1 error, only 8 left on base. Both teams have averted disaster multiple times as this ball is fouled off. And this game has remained close. Bateman's the runner on second for Minnesota. Himaleski singled. He was bunted over to second, and then Bateman took over for him as a pinch runner. Count is 1-2, 1 out. Sweeney standing tall in the box, hands up by his ear. And he'll now get a pitch. It's high and a little bit outside, it looks like, for ball 2. We are nearing 8:30 p.m. here at US Bank Stadium, which would mark the 2-hour and 25-minute mark in this ball game. The next pitch is a check swing and strike 3 called by the home plate umpire. Sweeney takes a seat on the bench, and 2 outs now show on the board. Up next for Minnesota is Zach Robbie. He has been the MVP of the team so far this season. He is batting .571, unbelievable. He has reached base 4 times today, and he will reach base a 5th time here, his 2nd intentional walk of the game. I mean, there is something to be said about when you intentionally walk someone twice in a game, especially when that same player hit a long homer earlier in the game, and that'll bring up Jack Wassel, who followed him up back in the 5th inning with a homer of his own. In fact, Wassel hit one into the 3rd deck here of US Bank Stadium. An unbelievable feat. He stands in the left-handed batter's box, bat at a 45-degree angle away from his head. And now he hits one way high, fairly deep to center field, but playable for Jackson, who catches it. We're going to head to the top of the 9th. If the Gophers can pick up 3 outs, they will have their 2nd win of the season and avoid the home sweep against the Illini. Stay tuned for the 9th inning coming up next on Radio K Sports Radio.
Birthday card sent to me. I miss my own surprise party. It's me, I'm only 21 years old, and now I'm drinking alone. I use my phone until it dies, just like my plants can't keep anything alive. I'm sick of being my own best friend. Will you be there in the end? Who said I was a nice guy? I'm telling you just what I want. I'm telling you just what I want. I just wanna have ice cream on my birthday. Blow the candles out and wash all my pain away. I just wanna have ice cream on my
Welcome back, and thank you very much for tuning in to Radio K Real Sports Radio. I'm Jason Ruttman, coming to you live from US Bank Stadium. It's the top of the 9th here. Minnesota clings to a 5-3 lead against the Fighting Illini, and Illinois will have their last ups here to see if they can tie this game and force it to extra innings, or even take the lead and force Minnesota to try and walk it off. Brett Bateman has stayed in the game, taking over the center field position from Himaleski. He wears number 8 for the Gophers, as the count is now 1-1. Ryan Duffy also stays in the game. He's in his 2nd inning of work here. The center fielder, Taylor Jackson, who's 0 for 4 on the day, stands in. He takes another ball. This one is a fastball inside and low. No shift on currently. Duffy is a lefty. Jackson's a righty. And here's the pitch. This one is hit hard and to the gap, just past a diving Wassel's glove and into left field. Illinois has a runner on to start the top of the 9th. And so stepping up to the plate is going to be Danny Dolegale. He'll represent the tying run for the Illini. Just a friendly reminder to you all, if you like and support Gopher Baseball, make sure to follow and like Gopher Baseball on Facebook at Gopher Baseball, on Twitter at Gopher Baseball, and on Instagram, you're going to be shocked by this one, at MN Gopher Baseball. But I digress. We resume play here. The first pitch of this at-bat is outside for ball one. Dolegale stands in the left-handed batter's box. He is 1 for 1 on the evening with 3 walks. He singled in the first and walked in the third, fifth, and seventh. He shows bunt here and takes another strike. That pitch looked outside to me, as did it to Dolegale. He did not seem to be thrilled with that call by Rick Allen. It won't be overturned, though, and so the count is 1-1. Now stands in, and this pitch is a high strike. Dolegale continues to be frustrated, this time taking a nice long walk outside the batter's box to reset himself. Gets in, kicks a little dirt around, taps it off his cleats, and now lines up Duffy with the bat. Now set, bat 180 degrees on his shoulder, and a ball will come in here. 2-2 is the count. Illinois looking to continue their 3-game win streak, as this one is hit high and foul, it looks like, into the fan section, bouncing off the concrete of the first deck and into the second deck, where it will land 2 seats from one of the socially distanced fans. Nice little souvenir for him. We'll do the 2-2 again, and this one is fouled off. Yet again, this one into the dirt and blocked by Chase Stanky off the bat of Danny Dolegale. The 6th offering of the at-bat is going to be over the middle of the plate and a looking strikeout. A beautiful slider by Ryan Duffy will result in the first out of the inning. And now coming up for Illinois is Ryan Hampi. He's the slugging 2-for-4 sophomore, batting .379 on the day. But before his at-bat, we will have another mound visit. There are 2 players up in the Gopher bullpen. Will we see a new pitcher? The Avengers theme music has begun to play over the PA system here at US Bank Stadium. And it looks like Duffy's going to stay in. I'm a little surprised. They have both a righty and a lefty warming up in the bullpen, whereas Illinois has no one. And Hampi's a righty versus Duffy's left-handedness, so you would argue that he could see the ball better. But Duffy seems to have argued his way into remaining on the mound and try and pick up the final 2 outs of this game. This pitch is a high and outside fastball to begin the at-bat, 1-0. Hampi has 11 hits in his 29 at-bats this season. He struck out 9 times, but has also plated 5 runners. He has 1 home run, and he'll foul this one off the mask of Stanky here. Everyone appears to be all right, though. And so we have a 1-1 count. Duffy gets the ball back from the umpire. And we will resume. Runner on first, 1 out. Gophers hanging on to a 5-3 lead. They haven't scored since the 5th inning. And this next pitch is over the outside corner. A beautiful location there, and strike 2 will be assessed. That one absolutely froze Hampi, and all of a sudden he's in a 1-2 hole. On deck is Cam McDonald. He has not gotten a hit today. The 4th pitch of the sequence is fouled back. And we will redo the 1-2 count. Runner on first. That's Jackson. Sweeney holding him on. He's stolen 4 bases this season in 5 attempts. Wouldn't be surprised to see him take off here to avoid a double play opportunity, but this pitch is fouled off, and he doesn't go anywhere. Hampi putting up a solid at-bat here. Count is 1-2, but we're looking at the 6th pitch coming up in just a minute. Duffy sets, looks in, leg kick, fires, and it's inside. That was a steaming fastball. Nice block by Stanky to keep it in front of him and prevent Jackson from advancing. This is the Gophers' final game at US Bank Stadium of the season, as this pitch is fouled back yet again. Smattering of applause comes from the Illinois dugout. An impressive at-bat is being built here by Hampi. But going back to my previous point, last game of the season here at US Bank Stadium for the Golden Gophers baseball squad. They're going to head on a road trip the next 2 weekends, and when they come back, they'll be playing on campus at Siebert Field. This pitch is swung on, missed, and it's going to get past the catcher, but an out is going to be called. I'm not exactly sure how, because it looked like the ball got past Chase Stanky, which would result in a drop third strike, but the umpire called Hampi out anyways, and so the Illini are down to their last out. On that pitch, Jackson took second base, so now he's the only runner on. He stands about 15 feet from second, no one holding him on. Up is McDonald. He swings at the first pitch that he sees and fouls it back into the protective netting behind home. If the Gophers can get this out, then they will have picked up their second win of the year and improved their record to 2-5. Illinois would fall to 3-4, although they would have won the series against Minnesota, as they picked up wins in the first 3 matchups as of Friday and Saturday. The 0-1 fastball inside and low. Energy is rising here in US Bank Stadium again, even with the limited fans. McDonald stands straight up in the box, now loads, and strike 2 over the inside corner. Maybe a generous call by Rick Allen, maybe not. No one's going to ever know. But the count is now 1-2. Advantage to Ryan Duffy, looking to pick up the save. Here we go. Can the Gophers get another win in the books this season? This one is past Stanky, the first ball that he has not been able to block today. A wild pitch will be assessed, and Jackson heads to third base. That fastball was coming in hot, and the release point just was not right for Duffy. It sailed probably 2 feet wide of Stanky and thankfully bounced right off the purple mats behind him to prevent Jackson from considering taking home. 2-2 count now. This one over the plate. Strike 3 called, and the Golden Gophers have won the baseball game. McDonald is not happy with the call, but the graphic flashes on the scoreboard as the bullpen and dugout empties for the Gophers to line up for high fives and celebratory hugs. Your final score from Minneapolis, Minnesota, the Minnesota Gophers 5, the Illinois Fighting Illini 3. We thank you for joining us here on Radio K Sports. The Gophers will be back in action next weekend in Evanston, Illinois. Make sure to tune in for that online or on TV. The Big Ten Network will have that coverage. And for that, I say thank you for joining me. I've been Jason Ruttman, and signing off for now. We'll see you next weekend.